Hey, thanks for clicking on my video. Seb Heslo here. I had a haircut and we're gonna have a lot of fun today. So to start, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start building this rig out, which the plan for this is to eventually have it become a 14 times 1660 super mining rig. But unfortunately, I only have 9 1660 supers so far. I know, I only have 9 1660 supers. But yeah, so we're gonna build that out today. I also figured I would just give you guys a little tour of like what's going on with my little mining farm, you know. So I got this rig going, which is the sort of 9 times just hodgepodge of different like 10 series cards. But before we get into that, I'm sure you've noticed here. Can you see that on my worktop here? I've got 3 brand new 1660 supers to open, and this will make number 7, 8, and 9. So what I figured we'd do is I'll open these up, and if you're wondering like how I've been able to buy brand new graphics cards, I actually have 2 videos on my channel about this already, so you can go check those out. Alright, so I just need to unbox these 1660 supers real quick. And I don't know if you guys watch Red Panda Mining here on YouTube, but amazing big YouTube channel about mining. And what he usually does is he will like snap his fingers and things will be unboxed immediately. And I tried it in a previous video of mine, but I couldn't get it to work. But it turned out I was using the completely wrong hand. You know, like he uses his right hand for it. So I figured we'll try again with the correct hand. So 3, 2, 1. Oh, it didn't work. Let's try again. 3, 2, 1. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Yeah, I guess that didn't quite work out. I'm gonna keep working on it though. And the good news is that after most of the packaging burned up, the cards are really easy to unbox. So, you know, that's good. But yeah, if for some reason you're watching my channel right now and you're not subscribed to Red Panda Mining, then absolutely go over and subscribe to his channel right away. As well as please go and check out both Altered Component and Chump Change XD as well. They've, like all 3 of them have recently given me, like my little channel, a shout out in their live streams or in their videos, and I'm so appreciative of all 3 of them. They are big inspirations to me and my channel, and I've learned so much from their channels just when it comes to mining and just having a YouTube channel and all that. So please do yourselves a favor and go check their channels out. Links as always are in the description of my video. But yeah, so let's see what we actually got here. So it is 2 of these Asus sort of dual fan versions of the 1660 Super, as well as this tiny little one. Look how small this is. It's like the size of my hand, and I don't have very big hands. I have like average at best sized hands, guys. Look how small and cute this is. And that's also an Asus 1660 Super. So the plan for today is we're gonna put all those 3 in there, as well as how many more do I have? Another 6 1660s goes in there. And we're gonna do that by reshuffling some of the cards in here, as well as well, I'll show you in a bit. So let's not get too sidetracked right away, because I also figured this would be a little just like update on my mining farm, as I like to think of it. So I don't know if you guys watched my previous video about this rig here. I believe the title of that video is my 9 GPU or something like my first mining rig is finally finished, something like that. So you can check that out. But in there I talk about this strange issue I would have with this rig, where like it would run for like 6 to 8 to 12 hours sometimes, but then just like one random GPU would crash, and it would be like a different GPU every time, and I had no idea what was causing it. But good news, guys, is we figured it out. Woohoo! So the problem seemed to be, well, rather the solution was we slightly reduced the overclocks on all cards, just like a little tiny bit. But then the main thing that we did was, after a while, we noticed that one of the cards crashed a little bit more than all of the other ones. So, you know, it would seem random at first, but then after a while we noticed, it's almost every other time it's this card. So we took that card out and replaced it with a different GPU, and rig has been running smoothly for like 2 weeks straight now. It has been such a relief, and I'm so happy. So actually, let me show you what we've done. So here it is. This is the card that was causing all of the trouble. It is in timeout now. We've put it in timeout here in our little portable test bench because it's been misbehaving. So, bad card. You're in timeout until you learn to play nicely with your friends. But yeah, then also let me bring you guys in here. So here is the rig that you might have seen me build on a previous video where I went over the whole complete process of building and setting up a mining rig. I believe that video was like almost an hour long, so if you watched all of that, then well done to you, mate, because that was a doozy of a video. But anyway, so when I built that, I built it with these 3 EVGA 1660 Supers, but as you can see, I don't know if these 3 cards have been naughty or something, but like I came here one morning and it was a 1080 Ti in here as well. So I don't know what these guys have been up to during the night, but all of a sudden there were 4 of them. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take all of the guts from this rig here. So, you know, the power supply, the motherboard, and we're gonna take those three 1660 Supers as well, and we're gonna put them in the rig here with the other 1660 Supers, as well as we're gonna scavenge out of this rig. We're gonna take, I have one 1660 Super in here that we're gonna take and put in here, and then I know the title of the video says 9 times 1660 Supers, but we're gonna take two of the cards are gonna be other 1660s. So I got one plain 1660 and one 1660 Ti. So we're gonna take those 2 out of there as well. So in total that will be 9 different 1660s. Most of them supers. 7 out of 9 will be supers, and we're gonna build towards having them all be supers. And we're gonna take the 1080 Ti out of that the rig you just saw out there, and we're gonna put that in here instead. So we're gonna take 3 cards out of here and replace it with that one 1080 Ti, and we're gonna build this rig up with 9 1660s, most of them supers. Alright, so I think what we're gonna do first is we're gonna power this rig down and take the 3 1660s out of there. Then we're gonna carry this rig over and take it apart, put the 1080 Ti from this rig and put that in here, and just fire that up and make sure everything works. Then move this rig out, and then we can focus on putting the 9 1660 Supers into this frame here. Which, by the way, if you want to learn how to build one of these frames, I've got a full video guide about that on my channel, and link is in the description for that. And I've also put together a really detailed PDF guides on how to build one of these. I'll link that in the description as well. Alright, so I got the 1660s out of this rig. They're on the table here. So we got a 1660 Super, 1660 Ti, and a regular 1660. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the 1080 Ti into this rig. Alright, so we carried this rig over here, and now we're gonna take this 1080 Ti, put that into this rig, and then we're gonna take all of the guts from this rig, as well as these 6 cards, and we're gonna put them into this frame here. Alright, so we've taken all of the cards out of this rig here, and we've put the 1080 Ti over here, and we got the 3 1660 Supers ready to go over here. So now let's fire this rig up and make sure it all works well with the 1080 Ti, and then move that out of here and start working on this rig. All right, so let's power the power supplies back on. And there's our rig. And the 1080 Ti is spinning, so that's a good sign. And I don't know if you can see on the screen here, but we have the 1080 Ti showing up in our device manager, which is great. So I'm gonna close that and I'm gonna set up my overclocks for it in MSI Afterburner. All right, so that took a little bit longer than expected, but we got all the overclocks set back up and we're getting around 217 megahash a second on this complete rig now. So I'm happy with that, and it's time to move this rig out of here and start working on the 1660 rig. All right, so this rig is all set up and cozy. Work well, little rig. And now we can finally get into the meat and potatoes of this video. Finally building this 9x 1660 super rig. All right, so we got the motherboard set up in the new rig here, and we got both our power supplies laid out. We've only got the main one plugged in. I'm gonna be talking you through the whole power setup soon, but I just figured like we got just the base system all set up now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a first startup here just to see that everything works. So fingers crossed, guys. All right, fans are spinning, CPU fan spinning. All right, we're posting on the screen, so that's a good sign. It's thinking about something.
This is the end of side 1 of this record. Please now turn it over for the second time.
And we got Windows. Excellent. All right, beautiful. So I'm gonna shut the system back down again, and let's go through the power setup now. Because this stuff is important, and I think you can learn something from this too. So right now we have these two power supplies here, and the way we make sure both turn on at the same time is we have this little add to PSU chip, which basically you plug your main power supply into the little Molex connection here, so that when this turns on, it sends a little signal, and you then plug your 24-pin motherboard cable from the secondary power supply into here, and when the main one sends a signal to the chip, that turns your secondary power supply on as well. And as for how we're powering and everything, we have this, our main power supply is a 120 watt Zalman, which I really recommend this power supply if you can get a hold of it. It's at least readily available in the European Union. You might be able to buy it elsewhere as well. The reason I recommend it is it's really good, and it's actually really cheap for being a 1200 watt power supply. I got a video explaining more about that, so you can check the link in the description for that. But from here we have 4 PCIe single strand cables. So let me just move around here. So we got 4 PCIe single strand cables coming out of it like this, like 8-pin cables, which I'm then going to put one splitter on like this, and I'm gonna use that to power the GPU and riser for one card. So I got 4 of these. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. Then it's also got 2 of these daisy chained. Can you see? So it has 2 8-pin connectors coming out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put one splitter here like this to power the GPU and riser for one graphics card, and I got the other one here, GPU and graphics card, so that's 6 cards. And then I'm going to use the remaining 2 coming off of the daisy chain to power the GPU and riser of card number 7. So that's powering 7 of our 1660s, which TDP for the 1660s are 120. So let me just do some math real quick. So 7 times 120 is 840 watts. Add maybe another 100 or so for the total system, and that puts us at just below 1,000 watts, which is all right for a 1200 watt power supply. It's roughly within the 80% rule, and that is not taking into account that we're gonna be like reducing the power limit on all of these cards severely, since with 1660s you can basically pull the power limit all the way down to like 52% TDP, so they will pull a lot less than TDP, so we should be very good. However, we do still need this secondary power supply to power the remaining 2 1660s, and that is because not only are we running out of power on the 1200 watt one, but we're also running out of cables. So let me move all of these cables out the way. There we go. So this is a really janky little Corsair 650 watt barely modular power supply that we actually got for free. This is just a temporary power supply. We're waiting on another one of those amazing Zalmans that we're gonna use for when we build this rig out with like all 14 1660 supers. But for now, since we have 2 cars left to power, we're gonna have to use this. So the way we're gonna do that is we are going to, it has 2 little PCIe 8-pin cables coming out here. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a splitter on one of them to power one card, and then we're gonna use the other 8-pin coming out to power the GPU of the last 9th card, and then we're gonna power the last card's riser with Molex. And I know that that isn't recommended. If you can power it with PCIe, you should. However, since these are 1660 supers, they are extremely power efficient, so I am not too worried about powering the riser with Molex. I would never put more than 1 riser on one Molex strand like this, but if you have a GPU that isn't pulling a lot of power, you should be okay by powering the riser with 1 Molex like this. So that is the plan for our power for this rig. Now let's plug our first GPU in and see if it all works fine. Alright guys, so I just want to mention as well, if any of you have this motherboard, the I don't know if you can see, it's the ASRock H110 Pro BTC Plus, like the mining motherboard, or a motherboard similar to it. As you can see here, the PCIe slots are extremely close together. So what might happen actually is when you plug your sort of riser to USB chips, like the PCIe to USB chips in there, they can be so close that they actually touch each other and short. So what we're doing is we're just putting a little bit of like insulating electrical tape on both sides here, so you can see along the side here as well as on the actual like USB plug here, just to prevent them from shorting each other. So just a little quick tip there. Okay, so first GPU is plugged in, and what I've done is I try to always like Bitsby Trippin says, let's try to really piss it off. So I have plugged the GPU into the secondary power supply with the PCE cord going straight to the power supply, and then the riser being powered by the Molex. So let's turn these on together. 1, 2. All right, GPU is lighting up and spinning, so that's a good sign. We got something on the screen, that's good too. Now let's see if it shows up in our device manager. Yeah, there it is. Ooh, 1660 Super. Very good. All right, we are good to go. Let's, you know what? Let's just start our miner quickly, just to see that it's doing something, and then we'll plug more cards in. All right, and we are mining, and we're getting around 31.5 mega hash with these overclock settings here in MSI Afterburner, basically just pulling everything down as far as it goes except the fan speed. So yeah, very good. Let's plug more cards in. All right, so the second 1660 Super has been plugged in. Trying to give you a good view of it. It's the little one that we unboxed earlier, or that we tried to unbox earlier at least. And it is showing up here in our device manager, easy peasy, and we are getting around 31.8 mega hash on it. So yeah, very happy with that. I'm gonna keep adding one card at a time, but I might not show you every single card along the way, because that might get boring for you guys. So see you in a little bit. Alrighty, so I have all of the odd cards in now. So I got the small 1660 Super, the MSI 1660 Super, the regular 1660, and the 1660 Ti. And they're all in, all working fine. You can see here with the overclocks, we're getting around 120-ish mega hash, under 19 now, which is good. I'm happy with that. And yeah, if you want to see me sort of overclock and test the hash rates more thoroughly on these cards, I've got videos about that on the channel. But now let's plug the rest of the 1660 Supers in. Alright, check this out guys. We've got 9 different 1660s all up in the rig right now, and it is all working flawlessly. So as you can see here, they're all showing up nicely in the device manager. I've done my overclocks for all the cards, and we are currently mining, and we're getting around 277.59 mega hash a second right now, and we're getting between 31 and 32 mega hash on all of the 1660 Supers and the 1660 Ti, and we're getting just below 25 mega hash on the regular 1660. Here's some more cool shots of the rig. Whoa, look at all those GPUs. Don't look here, don't look at my cable management. I'm not done with that yet. Here, we're censoring this out. There we go, that's better. And look at these Asus ones. These are the new ones. I didn't know they had cool like RGB lighting on them. That's so cool. So yeah, now we just have to find another 5 to go up there, and the rig is complete. Oh, and I bet you guys are interested in how much power we're drawing as well. So check this out guys. We're below 850 watts. Isn't that just so cool? We're like the whole system, because I got the power meters plugged into this thing where I've got both power supplies and the screen. Actually, let me turn off the display here. Oh yeah, look, 822 watts on the wall, so that is including the whole system, and we're getting 277 mega hash. That is sweet. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you have any questions about this rig, and if this video has been entertaining and informative, then please give the video one of these. I'd really appreciate it. But what you gotta do now is you gotta click on one of the videos on the screen, because this video is over. You can also click on my face to subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate that. But yeah, so click on that next video. Bye bye. Goodbye.